Oh,
Okay.
hi, Anthony. Well, thank you for joining us today. And thank you for sharing your story with our customers. I'm sure it'd be really, really helpful for them. Can you tell us about, because you've got so much has changed in your life. You've got a new home, a young girl been born to your family. So tell us about this journey you've been going on this last couple of years.
Yeah, so luckily, a couple of years ago, we managed to have the opportunity to build a home from scratch and design it based on planning permission and everything else. So that kind of kicked off late 2019. Obviously, we'd got the frame up and everything spec'd in just before COVID hit, which threw its own curveballs. But one of the key things that we were looking at is based on our location, we've got a lot of farmland and countryside we're overlooking. So we took the opportunity to make the most of that and have some nice big windows, as you can see behind me, and some bifold doors. So they're kind of ceiling to floor length, which added quite a lot of glass to the property. And during the design process, we did consult window companies, and they said that solar gain wouldn't be an issue based on the size and orientation. But once we moved in, end of 2020, and when we, especially last year, through the scorching hot summer we had, it was evident that wasn't the case. And I mean, the kitchen would be up to about 29 degrees by the time we got down for breakfast, unfortunately. So I guess that's where we really significantly started looking at what could we do to reduce that. One of the options was some automated blinds, with the cost of those, but we would prefer not to have blinds, I think was the where we got to. So we were looking at other options. And I guess with our little one that we had this early on this year, we quite liked the idea of the window film, because you got the daytime privacy, you got the solar gain down, and you've also got the UV filtering on it, which was quite key, because we've got the ceiling to floor length windows, and with the newborn kind of crawling around and playing, we want to kind of help protect the skin and any sort of UV that might come through. So there were some of the key specifications we had on that, and managed to settle on Window Treat to help provide that for us.
Well, fantastic. And how did you hear about Window Treat?
So, like most people do these days, a good bit of Googling, managed to send off some emails to different companies, and Window Treat was one of those that kind of hit the brief. Looked like it had the offerings of what we were looking for, and therefore kind of work with yourself a bit further to see where we could go.
And what other, you talked about automated blinds. What were the offerings you were looking at? What was the experience with Window Treat and the other companies?
I guess with the auto blinds, before we were looking at the solar gains, we had already done some auto blinds upstairs for our bedroom, just because, again, it's quite a big window. And when I was trying to spec some blinds to fit the thresholds of the windows, I was advised that I'd either have to have multiple blinds for the window, or go electric, because otherwise the rollers and pull mechanisms wouldn't be strong enough. So I guess I'd already gone for automated blinds upstairs, but when we looked at what we wanted to do for the windows on the rest of the house for the solar gain, we determined that we didn't really want the blinds coming all the way to the floor where we have pets in the house, and also where you might have a child pulling on them. So we looked at the solar film, which was actually kind of cheaper to apply to more. I guess it's a similar price, but we got to cover more of the house with that kind of solar gain and privacy aspect as well.
Oh, fantastic. And why did you choose Window Treat?
So, being an engineer as a background, I kind of took a bit of an engineered approach, like I would at work, and looked at what the options were. Went out for various quotes for trying to meet the specifications I wanted and see what came back. I had a few companies come back, one of which was probably more local, but the, I guess, technical conversations about what the solar film would provide and where it's best to apply it weren't as strong and convincing, I guess, or weren't as productive a conversation as what I'd had with Window Treat. So I guess that gave me more comfort, or more of a kind of good feeling about the company in terms of what I would get, and that it would meet the requirements I wanted it to meet. And sure enough, that's kind of where we got to in the end, and managed to get to a quote that was what was competitive compared to the other companies, as well as that will come with that technical knowledge and workmanship guarantee.
Yeah, and you chose Silver 35 Exterior was the film that's you chose on most of the glazing, with a Prestige 40 on the Velux for longevity on the sloping wing at the top, isn't it? And so you went with a reflective film, and that was because of privacy. Can you tell us a little bit about your privacy requirement?
Yes, so luckily currently we look across quite a nice bit of countryside, and I guess there's some farmland just off to one side. Recently, since we built the house, I guess that got planning permission to be converted into a property which would overlook the rear of our house, and also paves way for further opportunities for planning permission behind us, as well as we have a kind of public footpath behind where lots of people walk their dogs and take some family strolls. So occasionally we can feel a little bit overlooked without any curtains or anything on, and having the big windows we do. So one of the aspects I kind of wanted to get out of this is the solar reduction, but also the benefit you get from the solar film is that you get that kind of reflective privacy during the daytime, where otherwise you'd have the curtains open. So you could still carry on looking out across the countryside, but feel unwatched, I guess, in your own home.
Thank you. Well, if I recall back, we had an interesting experience with the install between us all, didn't we? Can you tell us a little bit about what happened?
Yeah, so it was a little bit unfortunate on the timing. So once we managed to get us booked in to get the window film going, due to the summer we had last year, actually the harvest came early, and the week before you arrived, I noticed, or a couple of days before you arrived, I noticed that the combines were rolling out and cutting the wheat for the year. And as we had a wheat field behind us at that point in time, I managed to get hold of the farmer, and it turned out they were due to originally cut the wheat the day you were going to be installing. So after talking to him, he said that he was able to pull that forward and do it the day before to stop the dust and swarf getting stuck in the film. So we thought we were all good to go ahead. But unfortunately, that then meant that actually the morning of, loads of harvest flies appeared, and it was like trying to walk through fog with how thick they were. So I guess the installers tried a couple of windows, and unfortunately got to the conclusion that they couldn't do a satisfactory install because the bugs kept flying onto the solution before the film was able to be put down, and therefore they were kind of getting trapped behind. So the decision was made to make sure that the install was to specifications and to good quality, to call it a day and come back at a later date.
Yes, and thankfully you do have when we came back, it was more or less bug free, wasn't it? So are you happy with the install?
Yeah, it was bug free, and I guess there's a bit of prevailing winds, but the team managed to work with that and get a really good install that you can, I guess, we got to the solution we wanted, and you can barely tell them on the windows. We haven't really lost any, or you can't tell we've lost any natural light at all really from it, and you can't see any kind of imperfections or any bugs underneath the film.
Yes, our friendly bugs. So I guess, has the film worked? Is it cooler in your home when the sun's bright and shining?
It is. I feel it is. The summer will be the real test, but currently it is feeling a lot cooler in the house, especially in the rooms that we've got it on. So I'm looking forward to seeing the effects of it and the reduction in the energy, I guess, air conditioning bill in the summer when it gets there.
And how about the privacy?
The privacy is really good. I guess you can stand at the end of the garden and really can't see anything through the windows. And the really nice effect of it that we've got is, rather than going for the kind of smoky black effect, because we've gone for the reflective, you're getting a reflection of I guess the flowers and the grass we've got in the garden. So it's really kind of helping reflect that kind of nature back, and it's a bit of a nicer view than what we could have otherwise gone for.
Well, thank you, Anthony. And one last question from me. It's $1 million question. Would you recommend window treats to your friends and family?
Yeah, I guess already my in-laws got a conservatory, and they've already been looking at it getting so hot and stuff in the summer. And I've already recommended that if they didn't want to change the construction, then the window film and the window treat would be an option and a good way forward for them, as and when they manage to get out of the current climate, and so they've got some more freely available money.
Well, thank you. That's music to my ears, Anthony. Thank you ever so much for sharing all of that with our customers.
All right, thank you very much for your help.